Here coming to you from actually my backyard. This is South River, New Jersey, and I'm coming to you actually on my Sabbath day. Reason for that is that it's been a very busy week here at St. Peter's Episcopal Church, and I'm coming to you actually at the end of Friday, which is the end of my Sabbath day, and it's been busy as well. I got a lot of yard work done. I was able to mow the lawn and do some trimming up and get things ready for fall. Did some harvesting. We had some of the squash that we've grown from our garden, and it was a really blessed day. I hope you were able to enjoy some of the beauty that God gave us in the weather. But I was busy this week because of a number of pastoral and diocesan and parochial concerns, and I'll break some of those down for you so that you can get a sense of the mission and ministry of St. Peter's. But I also want to point to some of the things that are coming up, because that's just as important, where you inhabit a moment that is always at the nexus between then and now and later. And in this moment, we are anticipating some wonderful things. We're also looking back on some things and taking what we can from them to equip us for the journey ahead. So looking back, it has been a pretty momentous week. We've had two major meetings at the diocesan level regarding two refugee crises that are affecting people who are our closest neighbors. One of those are allies in Afghanistan who were now refugees in our country, and how the Diocese of New Jersey, even St. Peter's, is going to be responding to support them as they seek to find a place in our community and to find a way to move forward after the end of that conflict. As well, we're also participating in a task force at the diocesan level with our Haitian ministry and our Haitian refugee crisis as well. This one has been going on for slightly longer than our Afghan crisis, though it is just as intense. Since the 2010 earthquake in Haiti, people have been displaced. They've been in South America and Central America as well, and also have been trying to make their way to the United States. They are both economic and environmental, and now, with the assassination of the Haitian president, some of them are political refugees seeking a place to find safety and well-being. So the diocese is responding on all those levels. On top of that, we also had a discussion and meeting webinar, second in a series, on reparations. We have a reparations task force in our racial, anti-racism, and social justice efforts. So there's a lot going on at that level, and a lot of things that we as St. Peter's are going to be discerning about into the future. As well, we had fellowship. We had an amazing week at the thrift shop. We are getting ready to stop taking donations because we are hoping soon, i.e. November, to be able to close our thrift shop temporarily while we install a new bathroom in the parish hall. Very excited about that. That'll mean easier access both to the old thrift shop area as well as an ADA compliant bathroom that is going to be much more comfortable and hopefully better. We are more able to care for it and care for each other in the necessities of life. So we're excited about that as well. This coming Sunday, this is St. Francis Sunday, so we'll be blessing our animal companions. We'll also be marking my anniversary with you after my first Sunday. This is, I think, our 12th together, our 12th Sunday together. So it's the end of my 11th year here as Rector at St. Peter's. I'm looking forward to that. We'll be blessing animals at the end of the service. In between the services, we're also going to welcome our Sunday school families, and we're going to do everything we can to get our Sunday school and formation programs back up and running. They may not necessarily look like we've wanted them to in the past, but they're going to be something that we can work together and learn together and grow together as disciples of Christ, particularly with our youngest ones in relationship with each other. We also have men's breakfast tomorrow, as well as the regular hours for our thrift shop, and of course the daily offices continue. There's a lot going on in the life of Christ at St. Peter's, and as we enter into October, we are also continuing with our community suppers, the 411 program. Our own Jeannie Fitzpatrick is going to be receiving a special grant and celebration from a nonprofit that has been sponsoring these kinds of service calls from among women leaders and communities. So we look forward to telling you more about that in the coming week. As well, we're also excited about some of the opportunities we've had to render service to each other. One of the downsides and one of the challenges of life nowadays is that we are still dealing with COVID-19 infections, and unfortunately we had 4 households in our congregation come down with it. 3 of those households saw people hospitalized briefly. Hopefully all of them are going to be home soon and recovering, but we've been doing everything we can to assist with their support and recovery, making sure that we smooth the way and help them out. So as I say, there's a lot going on in the life of Christ, which brings me to this point and this day. I didn't realize when I picked the word for the week yesterday that it would have such an impact, but the word is trials. On Sunday, we are hearing a lesson from the very beginning of the book of Job. The book of Job in the Hebrew Scriptures is one of those books that really should be essential reading for any disciple of God and disciple of Christ. It teaches us an awful lot about asking the deeper questions of who is God, why are we, what is our relationship with God, and what is the meaning of it all. It poses some incredibly challenging existential questions for us to ponder, and it also challenges us to, when we are in places where we face the trials of life, to embrace the idea that faith and God can be there with us, and we don't need to necessarily question if God is for us, because God is always there. God is with us and observing and participating. We just may not necessarily understand the full impact and import of God's presence alongside us. I feel that deeply right now, even in the midst of these pastoral things that are going on in the parish, as well as the challenges of life in Christ that we face together as the parish of St. Peter's. I also have a couple of instances in my personal life. I just found out a good friend of mine has been diagnosed with cancer, and though he is optimistic and excited about the treatment options and the ability he has to get to a point of recovery, it still makes me mindful of the journey ahead for him and for us in our friendship, for his family, for the people around him who care for him, for all of us, because we've all had that situation in our lives, or we've had that situation for ourselves where not only someone we love is going through a tough time, but we're going through a tough time. I've done that as a priest with you all, and I've been honored and blessed to be able to walk alongside you in your trials. I've had my own, as has my wife Laura, as has my family. We've all weathered these things, and we come to places in our lives where we may question if God is with us or not. The truth is, God is always with us. The challenge is, how do we frame that and approach that? In the lesson coming up that we hear on Sunday, Job has lost everything, and on top of that, he is wound up afflicted with horrible boils, horrible sores on his body. He is really in the depths of agony, depression, grief, and loss. And even in the moment, his wife even counsels him, look, just roll over, give up. It's too much. No one can bear the burdens you're bearing right now. Just let it go. And Job says, no, I'm not. For as God is my witness, truly, as God is my witness, I will not break my faith, nor will I break covenant with God. It's a powerful testimony to just how far we can enter into duress and still hold on doggedly to the grace of God in our lives and see that active. It's not easy all the time, but it's there. So really, truly, as we face the trials of life together, I'm honored and blessed to call this community of faith my own, and to really express and enjoy how powerful it is to share in that, and also to commit to it. The last thing I'll point to is that we are getting ready to begin our fall stewardship campaign. You may think it's odd to tie in the trials of life with what sounds in some ways like a pitch for money. It is not. It is about an understanding of our common and shared commitment. Stewardship is more than just making a gift. It's making a commitment to give of ourselves, to care for God's creation with our whole being, to commit ourselves continually to that awareness that God is with us. And if God is with us, then everything we are and everything we have and everything we do should be consecrated and blessed to an effective and grace-filled witness to that mercy of God present in our lives. So the trials of God, right there, right up in front of us, is true, and we respond to that by deepening and re-deepening and recommitting ourselves to that life of Christ that we've been gifted with. My friend, when he told us that he was going to be facing this health journey, he said, I'm in a good space. Not only do I feel confident in my medical team, but I also know that I have been given a grace-filled life, and I know where I'm going at the end of it. So if we know where we're going, if we're going to be with God in Christ, with each other, at the end and to the end of all things, then what have we to hold back from committing ourselves fully and completely to rejoicing even in the trials of our faith, the trials of our life, the trials we face that test us and clarify and focus us on the life that God has given us. I'm honored to share that with you today. So, the word for the week is trials. The grace of our life together is that we face them as one, and the opportunity we have now is to move forward and really celebrate that. So I look forward to celebrating that with you on Sunday, and of course you can always join us throughout the week, virtually and in person. We look forward to seeing you. For now, take care and God bless.